Hello everyone, John here. Welcome along to another video. Today I thought we'd have a talk about finding your own voice on the instrument, and basically what that means is, do you sound like you when you play, or do you sound like the heroes that you've kind of copied? And you know, nothing wrong with that, because we all have our idols, you know, the players that we love. But there comes a time where if you're going to kind of, you know, be successful as a guitar player, even for yourself, I'm not talking about being famous, but just successful for yourself, do you sound like you? You know, when you play, can someone say, yeah, that sounds like John? You know, I can tell that from his playing, because if you look at most of the great players, well, all of the great players, when you hear them play, you can tell it's them. You know, Tommy Emmanuel, you can tell, B.B. King, you can tell, Jimi Hendrix, you can tell, all these great players you can tell. And sometimes it's because of their technique, you know, the way they play it, and sometimes it's because of the sound that they've got, and a lot of times it's a combination of all those things. So let's see what we can do now. I played through a little example at the beginning of there of some things that I like to do. Now, when you're thinking about finding your own voice, obviously you want to take from players that you like. So if you like Jimi Hendrix, for example, you love his playing, then obviously take some bits you like, but you don't want to be a Jimi Hendrix clone, you know, you want to be your own player. So what I like to do when I think about this kind of stuff is I think what comes naturally to me. What I mean by that is not what comes naturally physically, because nothing comes naturally physically. It's very, very difficult. You have to sit there and practice that. But what I mean by that is what comes natural to you in the style that you like. So for example, if you listen to your favourite players playing, what is it about that you like? So for me, I've kind of narrowed it down to a few different things. So one thing that I love, which catches my attention, is chromatics. All right. So chromatics is, say, I'm going to keep this in kind of like a blues in A, all right, over A7. So chromatics is where, say, for example, in this pentatonic shape, you have, you're just playing the notes in between. So, and that's some chromatics. So if you're playing a lick, you're adding these chromatic notes in between. So that's one thing I like. So I like to put a lot of that in my playing. The other thing that I like doing is doing a lot of wide bends, you know, so bending, say for example, and I also don't really like hitting a note on its own. So what I mean is, if I was, so there's, I'm going to the A there, but I prefer, and you can get interesting things like this type of effect where so instead of playing just a note, I'm taking the note of A there, but not just playing A to E. I'm bending into them both. And then I'm bending into these notes, so I'm not going. Slight difference there. So that's one thing I like to do. The last thing, there's loads more things that catch my attention, but these things I use a lot. The other thing I like to use is arpeggios. So they make sense to me because arpeggio is the notes from the chord. All right. So if you're playing an A chord, for example, you'll play the notes from A, which would be A, C sharp, E, G, and then it it goes back again. A, C sharp, E, G, A, C sharp. So what I like about that is it instantly sounds like music. So these are three things I like. Now obviously you're going to listen to your favourite players, find three things or more that you like and try and make a conscious effort when you play to incorporate those things that you feel naturally to you. So now obviously giving a demonstration, this is very difficult because I'm playing what I like with my voice. And if you copy this, which you're very welcome to do, I don't know why you'd want to because it's, you know, it's not that great my playing. But if you do want to copy it, you can. But then, of course, all you'll be doing is copying me, which is good. What I mean by that is take those ideas from me, but turn them into your own ideas, you know. So there's an A chord. Let me just stay on the A chord. So if I kind of incorporated some arpeggios with that. Okay, sounds all right. So now what if we kind of incorporate some of those bend ideas I like. So it sounds slightly different than, doesn't it? You know, just playing the arpeggio. So that's one idea you can do. So all right. So we've incorporated arpeggio there. We've got some interesting bends, or bends that I like anyway. That's the whole point. Don't worry if someone else doesn't like them. You're the player. You've got to like it. So I like that. If you don't like it, sorry about that, but it's I do. You know, it's one of those things with playing, and you should be the same with yours too. Don't worry too much about what people think. Otherwise, you'll be there forever, you know, worrying. So, arpeggios, some bends. If we add some chromatics, so if we take a lick, let's say we did this. There, I'm going up to that A, but I could have gone to that one. So I'm using some chromatic ideas. So here's the arpeggio. So you could. And a little bend on the end. So anywhere there's a gap, really, so between these two notes, so C sharp on the A, 9th fret to the 5th fret, you can fill those in. So can you see there, I'm just filling in gaps really. Here's the arpeggio. So anywhere there's a gap there between the E and the G, that's the 7th. And then I do a little hammer on pull off there. And into those bends again. So anything you want to do, so some of this, you know, we're mucking about, and you might get ideas from that. So my advice to you is, when you're trying to find your own voice, is pick those things. Maybe just for now do 3. There may be loads more stuff that you enjoy. There's loads more stuff I like, but just for this video I'm picking 3. So pick 3 things and that come kind of natural to you, that you feel a natural, you know, affinity for, and then see if you can start put that in your playing as well as all the other stuff. And pretty soon, hopefully you'll sound like you, and you'll be able to listen to yourself, look back and think, oh, does that, you know, did that sound good? So give it a go. Love to know how you're getting on, but try those things. And if, by all means, if you want to rip something off, so there I'm kind of going through the scale and always A lot of times I'm going back to notes, so say this one here. There I'm bending up to the flat 5, the blues go. There I'm playing the D, going back to the D. And after a while, you can start to sound, some of those techniques may start to sound a bit like you, or, you know, hopefully that's the goal. Anyway, I rambled on a bit there, but hopefully the essence of this video is the sooner you start to develop your own sound, the better, really. So have fun, let me know how you're getting on. See you in the next video.